Alright guys, welcome back. I just want to provide a quick review here on the workbook, worksheet number 4. This is 3.1 to 3.3. This will be the 3 sections for your first test. Okay, so this is your third video, and so let's get started for topics in math, chapter 3. Okay, so the first part here is just translating into words. Okay, and just remembering the various symbols here. So for example, we have the and symbol right here. We have the if and only if. Bidirectional arrow, we have the or. We have the if then. We have the negation symbol, or the not. And then we have parentheses and various combinations of these symbols. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing the odds with you. So let's get started. Okay, so number 1 is P and R. So P and R is going to be I watch tennis and then R is I never watch soccer. Okay. Number 3, it's going to be or, so P or Q, and that's going to be I watch tennis or I watch football. Okay. Going on to number 5. It's just a negation of Q. So I watch football, so we're going to just negate that. So I do not watch football. Okay, that's the negation of Q. Number 7. Okay, we have 2 negations and an if then. So I'm going to start off with if the negation of R. So and then R says I never watch soccer, so the negation will be sometimes. If I sometimes watch soccer, then, and then the negation of Q, and Q says I watch football, so I do not watch football. Okay. Let's go to the next page. So number 9, starting with number 9, we're going to have the statements already in sentence form, word form. We're going to go ahead and give the negation of those statements. So number 9 says Mason is going to play tennis. The negation of that he is not going. Mason is not going to do whatever. Number 11 is all students play tennis, so the negation would be some students. Some students do whatever. Okay. And just a reminder about the negation statements for certain words like all are. The negation is some are not. Okay, and actually vice versa. Okay, and then some are, none are. Okay, so again, the negation of none are would be some are not, all are. Okay, let's go to finding truth values. So again, water is wet, or there is sand on the beach. Both statements are true. You just need at least one to be true for the or, so this is true. 15, Dallas is in Georgia. That is, or if Dallas is in Georgia, which means we're going to have this symbol. That is false. Disney World is not in Florida is also false. And if you remember, the if-then statements are always true except for the true-false case. So this is going to be true. Okay. And now let's do number 17. So we have our clues. So we're just gonna negate Q. If Q is false, we're gonna negate it, make it true. R is false, and P is true, so we're gonna negate P, and that's gonna make it false. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do the parentheses first, which is true and false. True and false has to be false because the requirement, they're all false except one case where there's true, and that's when they're both true, and it is not the case. So this is false, and then if false, then false. So this is true. Okay. Okay, so our last one is number 19. On the other page, which is, there isn't a lot of room over there, so I'm just going to do it here. So when you're asked to do a truth table, what you're doing is you're finding all the cases, finding the truth values for all the cases, and if there's two statements, that's going to produce 4 cases. Okay, so you always start this off with the cases, the 4 cases. And another way to remember these 4 cases is to just put half true, half false for the first column, and then alternate truth and false on the second column. Okay, once you do that, if you're doing it my way, which is the alternative way in the textbook, then you're going to do what's in the parentheses first. So let's plan this out. So before I do the if then in here, I need to negate first. Second, I'm going to do the if then, and then this is my last operation. So I'm going to go ahead and negate Q right here. Then I'm going to do the if then. And then I'm going to negate that column. Okay, so this is the way I do it. You're welcome to do it differently. So first I'm going to negate the Q. So I'm just negating this Q column, which alternates. So I'm just going to alternate with the false, true, false, true. Then I'm going to do if P, then negation of Q. So that's these two right here. If P, then negation of Q. And if then is always true except for the true false case. So that's the first one. So this right here is the only one that it's false, and the rest are true. Then I'm going to negate the column that we just did. So that's just simply turning these into opposites. And there you have it. Okay, so take some time to go through this review. Your video check is coming up, and so make sure your workbook is fully complete, including any tips that I have put in the videos. Alright, well, we'll see you in class, and see you in the next video. The next video is going to be for Unit 2, which will be on the second test. So we're going to go ahead and this is the last concept for this test.